Welcome everyone in this true life development video about building an auto battle game. In this video we're going to make it so if we fight against no units we're going to automatically win, and that should be pretty easy to set up. In our in-game states we have something that launch unit AI, and in there we actually want to check where this is being called. So when all units are ready, we are launching unit AI. And in here we actually want to start before doing this. So I think only the server is doing this. So we actually want to check where we're calling this, and we already know that. Oh yeah, we want to, where are we calling? So we want to know where we're calling. So we don't want this at all. So I think I just know where we want to call this. So when we're going to the combat phase, we're launching the phase timer. And in here, the server is waiting for everyone. And in here we actually want to check if some of the player have no units to fight, but it should actually trigger the draw if both players have no units. We're just going to build a function called check for no units. In here, and in there we want to loop through the players currently fighting. We want to loop through all the keys of this, and we want to find their unit lists like this, and we want to check if there are actually units there. So if there are units there, if this is equal to 0, if there are no units there, we're gonna check for the opponent of that guy. And we're also gonna check if there are 0 units. So we're gonna pull this into a function called does player have units, and make this in player. We're not gonna pass this as a reference, we're going to paste that here, and here we're gonna use this as well. So does player have units? So we are actually returning the contrary. So we just want this. Is player unit list empty? And we are actually going to return equals 0 here. So if they are both, we're gonna declare the end of their match. Combat and match ended for that player, and it's going to be a draw. But we don't want to be calling this. So when we loop through the other player, it's going to call draw once more, and we don't want that. Only if we can just check if they are in the list of remaining players there. and we have to make sure that we store this before, yeah, we do store this before this gets called. So if they have no units, we're going to call a draw. But if only, so if that guy has no units and that guy has units, we're gonna call victory for that guy. Victory for Sylvanus. I'm joking. Victory for that guy. So what happens there? If we're going into the combat phase, it's not calling for a draw at all. Where are we calling this? When we're entering the combat phase, but we're waiting for player units. So we shouldn't be. So this is actually being filled by the server. So this is actually empty when we try to read it. So I guess the server is still waiting for all units. So units are calling this. We're making sure that all the units have been registered, the units clients have sent us, and then we're launching their AI. And we're not calling this at the proper time. They are empty here, so it should have been triggering. It should have been triggering this at least. Does it still works when we put units down? Nothing should have changed. Blue should win, and they're calling for victory. And yeah, it's waiting 10 seconds before going back to the recruit phase. So we're just going to reduce that time a little bit. Camera match end delay, phase end delay. So when the match ends, we want to return after 6 seconds, and where the phase ends, we want to return after 2 seconds. 3 seconds maybe. So the combat phase has started, but not all units have been recorded. I've been recorded. So we don't have a proper way to retrieve that information, except for adding an ugly delay. So maybe we'll just do this for now, before finding another set timer by event. We're just gonna do this way for now. It's ugly, but it doesn't really matter, because I didn't plan the tech design and I didn't anticipate that there was going to be these problems. So is check for no units we want to be calling. and we will be calling this like 4 seconds after the beginning of the combat phase. So we're getting into the combat phase, and at 360 it should call a draw, so it didn't, and it's not no surprising because we've already called this and it didn't do anything, whereas it should have. So is player unit list empty is going to be in utilities, and check for no units is going to be in phase. So we're looping through the unit list. Is the player unit list empty? If that equals 0, which should be the case. We'll see if that triggers at least. We don't want to be calling this at 2 seconds after. So this does not even trigger actually. Check for no units. So why is this even? So I guess maybe we're clearing the player unit list at the wrong time. Yep, we are definitely clearing the unit list at the wrong time. If the length of this, oh yeah, of course, I'm so dumb. The length of this is 0. No, this shouldn't be 0. The length, this should say 4. Or not at all, because no player have been recorded. So yeah, I think we should not be doing this like this. We should be grabbing the keys. We should be indeed looping through the keys. Not at all. Get remaining players. We'll be looping through this, and we'll be asking, do you have units? Do you have units? So if you don't have units, because this is empty if you don't have units, so we're going to check, do you exist in the list of player who does have units? We indeed want to get the opponents. We want to find if the opponent doesn't have units as well. Victory draw. So do we even use is player unit list empty anymore? No, we don't. I think we do. We're doing that operation somewhere else, but it doesn't matter for now. We're just getting rid of it. So that's a draw. We're back at the recruit phase. That's victory for me. But my unit is not victorious. For some reason my unit is not victorious, whereas we actually ended the match in a victory. So we're indeed calling this. So somehow units receive that the information that they should be. When are we calling set unit state victorious? Because we're never calling this, so we're never sending the units in victory. So I guess we should be doing this somewhere else. On player units dead. Oh yeah, but we want, yeah, we do want them to do this. Maybe we can just be calling this here. Check for no units. On player units dead. Maybe we can be calling this and that on both of the opponents, and in here we don't want the opponent, we want that. So if we do this, it's a win for us. And if we do that, it's a draw. And if only that guy puts units, it's a victory for him. So we are fine with that logic. We're pretty happy about this, except that we have an error. Okay, so that's because we didn't get the chance to trigger the AI of the unit. Because the timer we set up by hand triggered before the AI. So we're gonna grab launch AI delay, and we're gonna add +1 to this, and we're gonna avoid we should avoid any situation like this. So it's yelling victory. So yeah, that's fine, we don't have an error here. So I think we're pretty happy about that. Does it still work? Does the rest still works? We haven't changed anything. So yeah, we're winning, and that's fine. Okay, so it's going to wrap up that video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.